Solving equations by squaring both sides, grade 11 and 12. We're going to question number 5. Like I said, I have kept all the questions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for you to see. So this is our number 5. Remember the first rule, there it is. Write down all the restrictions. All right, so let's go write the restrictions. So I now have restriction. Remember, I'm checking what's under that radical sign. All right, so I'm calling them rest, but it's rest. All right, so I'm going to take x plus 5. It must be greater than or equals to 0. Solving that, I end up with x must be greater than or equals to negative 5. The second restriction is that x beneath. It says to me, x must be greater than or equals to 0. That's it. So I've got 2. Watch now. If both of them says greater than, anything that is greater, it's far on the right-hand side. So I look at the two numbers, the one that is the furthest on the right-hand side, which is 0, that becomes the restriction. You see that? So that's why I said I can do this without doing the number line. But if I show you on a number line, let's just go put it there. So you will have a negative 5 here. And then you will have a 0. So the first one says, okay, equals to 5. Negative 5, I mean to say, and greater than. And then the next one says equals to 0 and greater than. Where do these two green lines intersect? From 0 and above. So that one is the restriction. So that means if I were to get a solution for this equation, it has to be a number that is positive. It can never be negative. It will never work. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, I'm just showing you, isolate the radical sign or signs, okay? One on the left, one on the right. And then we'll square both sides. By now, you know the rules. I'm not going to go jump back to them again and again. All right, so let's rewrite that equation. So let's rejot that. So plus the 5 here, and then equals to the root of x plus the 1 outside the radical sign. Well, you can actually see you can't you can't make that root of x plus 1 to stand on its own without the other terms. So what do? We are fine. I showed in a previous example. So now we just square both sides. We just square both sides like that. There we go. Now this one becomes x plus the 5 equals to, remember, square root of x times square root of x will give you x. That's foiling. Root of x times 1 is root of x, but you're going to double that, so it's going to be 2 multiplied by the square root of x. That's foil it. Do it slowly. 1 times 1 is going to be 1. There we go. And I'm like, bingo, I still have another square root sign. No problem. No problem. I need to isolate. I bring everything to the left. Now watch. I've got x. If I bring that x over, they will cancel. I've got 5. The 1 goes over there. I'm going to have 5 minus 1, which is 4. Just confirm with me. I'm having 4 equals to 2 square root of x. Don't worry. If I make mistake, don't say, I got you. Yeah, you would have gotten me, but everybody makes glitches. Don't worry. I'm not here to say I'm perfect. I'm here to say I can show you the way. If I spot the mistake, if you spot it, we can fix it all the time. All right, then again, we square, because rule number 3 says square both sides until no radical sign remains. I still have a radical sign remaining there. So I'm going to put that in the yellow parenthesis, raise that to the 2, parenthesize that, raise it to the 2. Then I've got 16 here. Equals to, is going to be 4 times that x is going to be like that. This one is straight to the point. When you divide by 4, both sides, you end up with x equals to 4. Now remember, This is the answer, but not necessarily a solution. We need to check if it's really a solution indeed. Restriction tells me possible solution that answers that will work. Anything that is greater than or equals to 0 could work. Is that 4 greater than or equal to 0? Yeah, it is. But let's check if indeed it is. So I put a 4 here, and I go put a 4 there. Watch now. That is 9 under the radical sign. Square root of that, it's going to be 3. That's the left-hand side. Square root of 4, it's 2 plus 1. It is in 3. So you see, when you write that restriction, you kind of like can tell in advance what could work. You can, instead of, if I had x equals to -6, I would have said, no ways, there's no need for me to test that one. But people, because they don't write restriction, they will test that one, check that one, and check that one. I wouldn't check that one, you see. But for you, I would check it just to show you, no, it's not going to work. Now, listen to me. Jesus is the God of maths and science, not me. I am just a vessel. I am just a human being. He must increase, I must decrease.